Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So friends, in this video we will have our discussion on a very important topic, which is going to be the role of destiny in your professional choices. The role of fate when it comes down to your impact in the world. So friends, for that, you know that whenever we are talking about anything where destiny, fate plays a role, nodal axis Rahu and Ketu becomes very important. And just because we are precisely talking about the profession, exclusivity connected with the profession, so that means we have to give attention to the divisional chart connected with that, which is the D10 chart or the Dasamsa chart. So friends, in this video we will actually try to study the contribution of the nodal axis in the D10 chart purely from your impact in the world point of view. See friends, because there are like many case studies. Even if you will take up the case of one very famous actor in India from the southern part, like Rajinikanth, and if you will give attention to his the whole life and the biography, he started his life as a bus conductor, and that's where he got spotted because of his his style, the way he used to deal with the clients. One of the director, producer, he spotted him, and that's how his life took a turn. Friends, there is one very good book which I want to recommend it to you. It has been written by this author, ex-diplomat, ambassador, politician, M.J. Akbar, which is, the book title is After Me Chaos. Because the thing is, in India, from 1526 to 1707, Mughals, they ruled in India. So right from the Babur, Humayun, Akbar, like Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb, Bahadur Shah, this was the whole chain of their ancestry. So I mean to say, even at that time when there was that Islam rule in India, so even that time, even they used to have strong faith in astrology. Like there have been those references, whether you will read this book like Akbarnama written by Abul Fazl, or even this book which I mentioned, you will get to know that even in the royal court, all the sitting and the dress code was as per the planets, as per the day. That was the faith. Even there has been that story that even at a time when Akbar was born, so his father, Humayun, that time was already in a battlefield, running away from one of the king from India. I guess it was Sher Shah, don't quote me on that. So that was the time it has been mentioned that his birth took place. It was supposed to happen, he was born on 15th October 1542, but right around the time of his birth, the Maulana, the spiritual person who was responsible for looking after the whole birth process, looking after the midwives and all, he knew this thing that if the birth will take place in next couple of hours, his mother, Hamida Begum, she gotten into labor few hours before, but he knew this thing that the birth of a jubilant kind of person with a special destiny has to take place after a couple of hours. So there has been that story that there was a midwife, she was not very pretty, and he took her and kind of created interruption so that the labor pain will be slow. And even the last and the one of the more jubilant in the whole Mughal dynasty when they ruled in India, Aurangzeb, when he said this thing to his own son, that it's why I was chosen and I got the throne when there were other successful candidates. Even my own father was not in support of me appointed as a king. His favorite son, my sibling, was Dara Shikoh. He was supposed to be anointed as the king, but it was in my destiny to sit on the throne. The whole life of mine, it all happened, all the events happened as per it has been marked in my horoscope at the time of the birth. So that is what I'm trying to say, friends. See, the thing is, if you are you have a very stable job, stable life, secure life, then you might not need to have that faith, and you don't have to follow the planetary transit every month, every week, every year. But imagine those people in whose cases their profession fluctuate. You are a politician, you are an actor, you work in the stock market. So then that means it becomes very important. Imagine friends, recently this AI summit happened in India, one of the university, they keep on putting so much and pumping so much money in advertising, marketing themselves. But one fiasco happened in that AI summit, and they got that bad rep because of that event. So I mean to say, in all the professions, in all the fields where destiny or luck fluctuate, astrology plays a very significant role. And talking about Rahu and Ketu, again friends, they are the planet of destiny, of fate. A lot of the times you will see that people in whose case some sudden shift happens, a major turning point happened. This could happen around the time when the Saturn maturity happens. Many astrologers are also of this notion that Sade Sati, especially the second Sade Sati of the life, is responsible for the major professional and career changes as well. So that is what I'm trying to say. See, I wanted to give the example of Adolf Hitler as well. Like even initially, he wanted to become an artist, like a painter. And there has been that saying that there was one time when he was drowning and someone saved his life, because he has to be responsible for delivering and bringing suffering to the whole humanity and human race. So that is what I'm trying to say, that fate and destiny plays a significant role in the lives of people who end up becoming the medium of major events which somehow the world and the humanity has witnessed. They have that tendency and capacity to influence the globe, the world. So in their cases, in their chart, this could be case even in your life as well, friends. Let's say for example, whatever you are doing, let's say for example, if you feel that I am in this position, it's only purely because of the luck. I'm grateful because fate brought me to this position. So I'm sure that you will get that answer via studying the nodal axis in the D10 chart. This is what we will understand. So friends, to begin with, I always say this thing, that no divisional chart can override the promise of the D1 chart. Whenever we open these divisional chart, we are just trying to look at the microscopic view of it. So that means your profession right now, whatever you are doing, your 10th house, your 10th lord, your Amatya Karaka, your like Karam Nakshatra, all of that will be responsible for that. There's no doubt about it. But deep inside it, the professional undertaking, the impact of your action, your fame, your reputation, your social contacts, all of that, if you want a microscopic picture of that, once you will open the D10 chart, you will get a very precise picture of it. So friends, like if I were to give you a brief synopsis of it, because I'm sure that if I actually have to make a presentation of like all the gods and the deities, different zodiac sign, a comprehensive placement, then I have to go to the narration part. So but just because a lot of the times when I do the narration, then people start saying, hey, you're just reading from the book, this and that. So I thought, okay, let me just do the narration some other time. In this video, we will just have a kind of a like a casual kind of discussion on this important topic. So how the nodal axis in the different house in your chart will create an impact in the D10 chart specifically. Okay, so let's say for example, if in the D10 chart you have your Rahu Ketu nodal axis in the first house and the 7th house. So friends, it is very important. We say that for the brand building, this is one of the very best placement. Like if you want to become a brand, you want to have your own identity, and those who have Rahu Ketu axis in the 1st and the 7th in the D10 chart, this is a pure indication and sign of that your professional undertaking is going to be very fated. Like in those cases where like you know, something happened and the family business inheritance came to you, you were not even planning to get into politics, get into publishing, writing, something happened, like spirituality, something happened and your life brought you over there. So those who have Rahu Ketu axis in the D10 chart in the 1st house or the 7th house, be assured. A lot of the times I always say this thing, friends, when people come to me for the reading, they're all the time putting their mind, okay, this happened wrong in my life at that stage, this happened wrong in my life at that stage, I took wrong decision. No. The flow of the life is intelligent enough to bring things which are meant for you, which is designed for you. You might not even realize it now, but your soul knows it. The fulfillment will happen only if you will stick there. So not all the time putting your brain, your mind, your calculation gives you good result. Sometimes it spoils things which are in an auto mode and which are for your good. So I mean to say, friends, those who have Rahu Ketu axis in the 1st and the 7th, it is a typically fated kind of impact which you will bring out there in the world. And your career choices, your livelihood, your profession. See friends, like the way we say that even at the time of the birth, there are like certain things which are written in your destiny. One is how long you will live, in which house you will be born, your health, and most importantly what you will do for the living. See friends, you would have seen that like in the nature it happens. Some of the rare species are found in those places which seems to be very inhabitable even from the scientist point of view, but somehow nature takes care of them. That if a specific species is found in one specific terrain, the nature assures that there is proper food which is going to be available for that species to survive on. So survival happens because of your livelihood, and nature always takes care of it. So you don't have to put your brain and spoil when everything is already going very good, right? This is a dictum which is very much applicable for those who have Rahu Ketu axis in the 1st and the 7th in the D10. Let's move forward. If you have this nodal axis in the D10 chart in the 2nd house and the 8th house. So friends, we generally say this thing that your finances, your family lineage, inheritance, there is definitely going to be a lot of the flavors of the fate and destiny. Now see, again, if the nodal axis, I'm just talking about the interplay and the say of the fate. Now is it for good? Like for example, you will take over a family business and you will be responsible for growing it. Or this could be a case that you will take over the family inheritance business and you will spoil it. You will squander away everything in the gambling. So that is dependent on the whole axis, in which capacity it is working. But yes, in your profession, in your livelihood, major transformation, your assets and finance, savings, accumulation is going to be very much fated. Destiny will have a say over there. Friends, those who have Rahu Ketu nodal axis in the D10 chart in the 3rd, in the 9th, this is a good placement, especially when we talk about the learning capacity, promotion capacity, or carving a niche for yourself. Like the way I mentioned, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, these are the planets where destiny grips us. Like there is a very Hindi word, I know that Hindi word, bebas, helpless. So these are the planets which can actually make us helpless. Like you might feel that, oh, I'm such a good actor, why I don't keep on getting audition, that person is not that good, he keep on booking one job after another job. He might have good fate, he might have good destiny, he might have good karmas. So that is what you have to understand. So Rahu Ketu axis in the 3rd, in the 9th, destiny does not bind you too much. So it is good in this regard that destiny will not bind you too much. Like you will have this capacity to carve and create your own path. So it is good regarding that. And yes, luck will play a very significant role. It hardly matters whether Rahu is in the 3rd or Rahu is in the 9th. Luck, learning capacity, higher wisdom, all of that will play a very significant role. Rahu Ketu axis in the 4th, in the 10th. So friends, in this axis, that goes without any saying, especially Rahu if in the 10th is considered as very, very good. Like for the fame potential, having that signature, like where people have that monopoly. We know that in every industry, like in the car, automobile industry, there is a brand which everyone associate. In food, in finance, in IT, in tech products, like Apple has been encashing on this brand image so much. No matter they are not revolutionizing their phones and their models, Samsung keeps on poking fun at them. When you will fold, when you will fold. So but still every time their new brand is launching, somehow still there are like people who are lining up outside the store to get their hands on the first model. I don't know, is it paid gig or is it organic? But I mean to say, yes, Rahu in the 10th is very good for becoming a brand, for having that mass reach, impact, It is very good for that. See, Rahu in the fourth is good. Like we say that for the politician, people who are in the real estate, and we generally say that. See, the thing is, the only concern with Rahu in the fourth is that Rahu in the fourth house can make your domestic life very unstable. See, the thing is, Rahu in the 10th is going to be that your quest to carve a name for yourself will drive you. Rahu in the fourth is good, but the drive and the push will come because of the restlessness. You're going to be very restless, and this will keep on driving you towards experimenting with new things, with your livelihood, and certain times it will not make someone feel secure. Like, okay, there's another good astrologer friend of mine, and there's a very famous actor in India, Mumbai, very famous. I'm sure that he must be, his net worth, he has been in the industry from generation. Like his father was also a very famous prominent actor, and that astrologer was telling me, hey Nipun, you know that a client of mine, he called. I was like, what does he, like, what he wanted to know? He says about the money or wealth. I was like, what? He's still not satisfied, he must be so rich. No, now he's asking about when he will start having those private planes and all. So I mean to say, Rahu in the fourth house in the D10 chart, contentment issue will be there. And because Ketu then happened to be in the 10th house, major career transformation will happen. Rahu in Ketu axis in the D10 chart in the 5th and the 11th. So friends, this is considered as a good kind of axis, like where we say your pur punya, past life merit, and we say the mass appeal, mass reach, impacting, influencing the collective masses, that capacity is going to be there. So this is a good axis. Like even, see, the thing is, we are not talking about D7 chart, D9 chart or the D1 chart, because in the ascendant chart, if Rahu is in the 5th house, for the well-being of the children progeny, it is a complicated calculation then. But if we were to only look at it from the D10's point of view, this will actually make the person very innovative, intelligent, out of the box thinking, and nothing could be better than that if Rahu is in the 11th house. It's like one of the very best placement. And some of the we say that the channeling from the past will also happen. From the past life, what your soul has accumulated, that will also manifest. Now friends, if the nodal axis, we have already discussed all the opposite side as well. So the last is, if you will find the Rahu Ketu nodal axis in the 6th and the 12th. So friends, this is a good placement as well, especially because I guess there is a reason why our saints and sages and many scholars have assigned Rahu's 6th house connection as a good placement for Rahu to be placed in, and 12th house is the house of the moksha, right? And if Ketu is placed over there, so what I have seen in my research is that with this axis, this can actually make you like a Robin Hood, like, you know, people who end up amassing a lot and they don't hesitate, they don't like act like very reluctant to share their good fortune with the less fortunate ones as well. And some of those people, because see, Rahu is actually attached with the bravery, not like a soldier and loyal kind of bravery which is represented by Mars. It's like, you know, where we say the spying, covert activities, thinking out of the box, how to use deceit to win over your enemies or competition. All of that is like typical gameplay of Rahu in the 6th house. And we know that, like, if you are in pharmacy, medicine, health, law, this is a good placement. So I mean to say, there's a lot of the good potential which this axis holds, not only for your own, like we say, your own good, but also when it comes down to making use of your fortune to share with others. The only concern is that because we are talking about the destiny with Rahu and Ketu in the D10 chart, so many times life also brings very fated enemies as well, without you doing anything. Like somehow you have gained an enemy who is hard bent in damaging your reputation. So again, this is fate. You do not have to blame your fate. It's like you have earned it from the past, and that is what you have to deal with. So yes, it comes with a see that is what the beauty of the astrology is, that right, we say Saturn is good in the 8th, we say like Mars is good in the third, in the sixth. So it's not like that everything is going to be happy dandy. Life will have problems, challenges, but you have the weapons to fight with it. So that is what I wanted to say. So yes friends, this was just a basic overview. I will look forward to your suggestion if you actually want me to make further elaborative discussion on this, like including the zodiac sign as well, and does this format look better, or these kind of very core discussion you want me to switch to the narration part only, because these days, because of the AI and all, then everyone starts saying that you're just reading out and you are not doing your original research and all. So that's the reason I thought of trying this format as well. So do share that friends, the format you want me to follow, and any more layer you want me to cover on this topic. So yes friends, for further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.